We talk so much about opening the heart on the spiritual journey, and she said when we've experienced hard times and hard things, how can we still open our heart? Well, there's no spiritual scripture or guru or teacher, master of any level, whoever has made a promise that I've ever heard that says, on a spiritual path, with your heart open, you will never be hurt. There's no such promise. There's nobody who says, if you love, forget a spiritual path. If you love in your life, you will never be hurt. All right, just for a moment here. Has anybody here ever been hurt? Right? There's a great story, actually, of a man who goes to his guru, and his son has died, and the man is as miserable as you can imagine a man would be whose son has just passed away. And he's furious at God, and he's furious at his guru of, I've been a good person, I've been a devotee. How could you hurt me in this way? And he goes to his guru and he says, you're my guru. Bring my son back to life. This is unfair. This is not right. I shouldn't be hurt like this. Bring him back to life. And the guru says, okay. He says, you're right, you are a very good devotee. You shouldn't be hurt in any way that's different than other people have been hurt. Do me a favor. I will bring your son back to life, but I need one thing from you. I need you to bring me a grain of rice, just one grain of rice, from the home of someone who has not lost a loved one. And he says, with that grain of rice, I will bring your son back to life. And so the man, of course, goes out from house to house to house, village to village to village. And of course, he couldn't find any house in which they hadn't lost a loved one. And he comes back finally to his guru. And he says, I'm so sorry. He says, forgive me for demanding that of you. I've now spent the last several days immersed in the pain that everyone has gone through. And I now realize that this is everywhere. And so in our lives, we lose. We get hurt. It's the nature of the universe. It's the nature of nature. Love a tree. If you love it for 9 months, it's going to lose its leaves. You can worship those green leaves as much as you want, but come autumn, it's going to lose those leaves. Love the summertime. You're going to lose it to winter. Love the snow. You're going to lose it to spring. Love your youth. You're going to lose it to old age. Whatever we love, we lose it. It's the nature of life. And so the heart open is our choice. What we have to accept is, okay, so this is what life is. Closing my heart doesn't change it. What closing my heart does is it means I'm in pain every day, rather than just the days that I lose something. Closing my heart means 365 days a year, I hurt. Opening my heart means I'm going to hurt some days. I'm going to hurt when people hurt me or I feel hurt. But closing my heart deprives me of every possibility that I have for joy. Because we don't get joy by just getting up every day and having a shower and getting dressed. We don't get joy from hugging our dollar bills or rupees or our cars or our house. I mean, has anybody actually ever embraced a door of your house or the fender of your car or your wallet? The things we embrace are people, animals, trees, things that are living. We're going to lose them. They're going to hurt us, knowingly, unknowingly. Maybe they just hurt us by dying. Maybe they hurt us while living. But I guarantee you they're going to hurt you. Or you're going to hurt them. You're going to die first. But our only possibility of life, of any joy, any meaning in our life, is to stay open-hearted. And yeah, it's not easy. But this is where the root of the word courage, I always share this, I love this so much. We tend to think that the words bravery and courage are synonyms, but they're actually not. The root of the word bravery comes from armor, to be armored. So the soldiers who were brave because they had steel plates over their chest. They had steel masks over their head. They had 20-foot spears in their arms. And so they were able to approach a warring army with bravery because they were covered and they had this big long spear between them and the enemy. But the root of courage is heart. It's the same as the root of the French word cœur. And the root of courage is literally an open heart. So it becomes our only choice. It's not a matter of how to. It's a matter of I have to. And then what we do is we just fill our lives with as much love as we possibly can, and as much joy and as much meaning as we possibly can, knowing that, yeah, we're going to get hurt. Some of it's going to hurt us. But if I can fill myself with enough of it, where it's not only coming from one direction, then when I get hurt from one direction, one person harms me, I lose one person, the leaves on my tree fall down, at least I've got other sources. And so people, nature, our work, our spiritual practice, the safest thing you can do if you don't want to be hurt, love God. God's not going anywhere. God's not going to betray you, not going to tell your secrets, not going to leave you for someone, not going to insult you. This is where the saints and the sages who lived in caves were so blissful. No family, no friends, no social life. You'd think, my God, they'd be, lonely. But that inner connection can be so strong that even living in a place where they didn't see anybody, just them in the river, them and the deer, them and the snakes. So blissful, so peaceful, so fulfilled. The more we need others in our life, the more chances we take to be hurt. I'm not saying cut yourself off. I'm not saying go live in a cave. But that inner connection is that which inoculates us from the pain of loss, of betrayal, of loneliness. Because we've got something. We've got the best. It's like having your best friend always with you. There's a beautiful line in the prayers we sing every morning that says, Tu akele nahi pyare, Ram tere saath mein. It says, my dear, my love, you're not alone. You're never alone. God is always with you. I'll end with this beautiful story. Many of you may have heard it, but it bears repeating, of the man who was so upset, and he said to God, God, you know, I was such a good devotee, and I worshipped you, and I prayed to you, but you betrayed me. He said, God, I had this dream last night in which my whole life was spread out before me. And I was walking along the beach of my life. And all along the way, I could see two sets of footprints, my footprints and your footprints. And you were always with me. And he said, but then on this path of my life, as I was watching it in my dream, I noticed that at all these hard times, when I really was broken, I really was shattered, when I needed you so much, there was only one set of footprints. You left me when I needed you the most. How could you do that? And God said, my dear, that's when I carried you. So that's the connection. Everybody else may hurt you. Everybody else may betray you. But that spiritual connection, doesn't matter what name you use for God, how you worship the divine, but that inner connection, that's what carries you at these times in our life. And that's what gives you the courage to keep your heart open, because you know, God's carrying me. Right? It's like the child in the mother's arms, fearless. Mother puts the kid down, they start to cry. But in the mother's arms, no problem. Bring it on. And that's how it is with your spiritual connection.